have a quorum.
Okay.
We are.
Hello.
Hello. Is that from cold Florida, Tracy?
It's Linda.
Oh, Linda.
It's gonna be warm today.
Oh, yeah, right. What's warm?
70 today.
Okay.
Yikes. All right, we are live streaming on the New York State Open Meeting Law. And we have minutes of the December 3rd, 2025 council meeting for consideration. Huh?
Linda, you want to mute?
Okay, a motion to accept those meetings.
I'll move.
Okay, second. Okay, thank you. Discussion? All in favor? Aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
One abstention? Okay, thank you. Student government report, we're just gonna keep you first, because we know you're a busy guy.
It's good to be busy. Good morning, everyone. SG is going on a very good start of the semester. We had 4 positions open due to people starting to get new classes, starting to get new activities that prohibited them from going to our Senate meetings. But those positions filled out the next week. We had applicants come in, and so that's pretty eventful. Our E4 positions are now open. Again, a lot more people applied to be part of those E4 positions. I believe right now we have 3 people running for VP. So we're going to see some exciting news about people, going for elections. We'll have the scholarship. It ended last Friday. We had 11 people apply for it. So we're also going to be due diligence to see who's going to be the winner of that by ranking our top 3. The charity volleyball has also been already in the process of getting scheduled. It's going to be towards the end of March. So be on the lookout for that. Again, it was very active last semester. We're hoping to make it as active this semester. And so far, that's it. Our semester has started off smoothly. No hindrances at all. We had the pleasure of having Andrew Martin and Chief Hen come to our Senate meeting last semester, literally yesterday, and talk about the IT and security and focusing on camera time. So we're very excited to see where that goes. They told us all about it, and senators are aware of it. We already have a plan scheduled for all of our Senate guest speakers for the upcoming semester. So we're on the roll. We're ready.
Very good.
Have there been any issues associated with ICE in this, in our area? I know I've heard it in like
No.
Schenectady, Binghamton, and other places.
But our students did a protest on Friday.
Yeah, okay, good.
The protest wasn't, to my awareness, as well organized. It
Yeah,
kind of just happened, but
there's
it's
so
good to
many.
see, yeah, it's good to see
Wow.
that the students.
It was good to
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
I do have a question, Daniel, because if I want to know the answer, because I want to make sure I understand and want to talk about the scholarship. When you say scholarship, what are you referring
The
to?
$500 scholarship
Gotcha.
for club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the other thing I wanted to offer is one thing that our student government's very good at is self-advocacy. And the last meeting we went to, Dr. Ann and I, the students were talking about, how our scholarship's done. We lose out. The way scholarships work is if they don't get one their first year, there's none for them to have to continue. So one thing we promised, and I want to tell you, is that we're very interested in creating a scholarship task force with students on it. So I wanted to let you know that and you could talk more to Daniel about what we're looking for, but we'd like to set that up because that's one of his legacy requests. So I want to make sure we start something before you leave, but it's a very legitimate concern of the students.
Oh, yeah, that
So-
could even impact retention.
So kudos, because this is what they do. They bring
Yeah.
these things up through the channel, and it's our obligation to work with them, hear them, and be a part of what they're looking for. So I wanted to let you know that we
Thank you so
don't want
much.
to lose that, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions for Janelle? Okay, great report as always. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Terenzio, President's update.
Yeah. Couple updates since we've been together last. The governor's budget came out, State of the State budget, and SUNY is already working on in terms of advocacy for what is in it for us. And I thought you all would like to hear. I could also, this is a little cheat sheet that is sent to us in terms of what we have to help with. Just to let the council know, you may not be aware, but because we're a state entity, we have to be careful how we lobby. So the only real registered lobbyist for every institution is the president, which is interesting, and it really is, it keeps everybody else safe. The council, however, I think can help me with some of the lobbying that if there's something that we need from all of you. But here are some of the requests. They, in the budget, they're going to provide, and you don't have to write this down because, again, I'll send this to you all. And I know Cynthia's writing it down. $54 million in additional funding to maintain the SUNY tuition freeze. So instead of putting this on the backs of students, the state wants to kick in more money, which is equal to 3% if the tuition was increased. They do want to support the expansion of SUNY Reconnect, which is for community colleges, for another $8.5 million. We've been, as a tech sector college, has been saying we are also two-year institutions. It was in the last round, but was taken out when it went down to the wire. We have asked the governor about this. She is not at all interested in allowing the tech sector colleges and our two-year programs to be a part of this. She just wants it to be for the community colleges. We can talk more about that if there's something of interest. The chancellor said that the only way to even make this move forward is for us to lobby our legislators. Also, there's 100%, again, community college funding floor. And I get that community colleges have suffered. And I do think they're an important piece of the SUNY landscape. They have also, she's also going to increase, again, this is not engraved in stone. This is her budget out for others to yay or nay it, as you know. We have what we call the ASAP ACE program, which is a retention program. How many campuses are there? 34 campuses of the 64 are involved, and it's a very intense retention strategy. We're one of the 34. They're going to add another 8 million to that. So right now, 7,000 students are in the ASAP ACE. ASAP is for the 2-year, and ACE is for the 4-year. It's going to increase to 10,000 students. They also want to increase the state service corps with another 2.8 million. We've had students in this. This is fantastic. They get paid to learn and be a part of a community service project. How many did we have here? We had like 16. And they're all over, from sustainability to working with kids. They can help choose. And our person, is it Donna Pessa, our person in charge of our service corps students? I think it is. Another support, emergency aid for students, another $600,000. So those are the biggies. They also want to invest in EOP, and they want to restore the 2.6 million and add another 17 million to the EOP project. Critical maintenance, they want to add another 400 million, which may not even touch the deferred critical maintenance. SUNY buildings comprise 40% of the state assets, capital assets. What was the number? It was $1 billion.
Yeah, it was close to 10 billion.
Of deferred, right. Just to let you know, Joe Batchelder watches this like a hawk, and we get ours and then some. So know that Cobleskill very much receives good funding from that. And they're going to expand the higher education prison program. That's something we've been looking into and trying to figure out if there's a place for us in maybe canine training or something in the prisons. So, and then they want to restore the Timbuktu Climate Science Career Summer Institute. That's mainly for ESF. So that's the overall, but again, we can get this to you. I thought you didn't want to hear what the governor's thinking. It's a good budget. Last year's budget was probably historically the best for a long time, since 2008. As you know, 2008, they pulled back and they never really have gone back to that number. Am I right, Laura?
Correct.
Right. Bless you.
Mary Ann, the significant increase in funding for EOP, is there a specific plan how that would be spent?
Every campus has a plan of what we're expected. We have to hit targets. What's the target for this year? And we've done better this year than we have in a long time.
Yeah, EOP target was 58, we're at 62.
So we've never,
For
you know, for a long time, we have not hit our targets. If you don't hit your target and you're low, they watch that with you. But they will pull staffing, because some of the staff is supported by EOP. They will pull staffing, but we're in good stead right now. And so we're at 62, which is great. Every year, they will look at our numbers, and each institution will have a different number. Was there a question on, we're good? I did want to give you an update on the Blue Ribbon panel for education, ag education. This is a very, very, very exciting big deal. Commissioner Ball from Ag and Markets has put together, I think I mentioned this last time, a panel on which I serve. And there are 3 subgroups. There's an education K-12 subgroup. There's a subgroup for industry and partnerships, and then there's a subgroup for workforce development. I'm chair of that subgroup. We are coming together here next week to continue looking at the recommendations that are going directly to the governor. I think it's becoming really interesting if you read the political tea leaves that finally we're being heard about the importance of agriculture in SUNY and across the state. This now, we hope, will dovetail with what the chancellor has announced for the Agritech Center, the SUNY Agritech Center, the Blue Ribbon, and the work we're doing, which we will share with you at the next meeting, on how to bring forward the farm as a premier lab for working in agriculture. So the time is coming, finally. And that Cobleskill is not just a part of it, but the lead in a lot of this, I think, is very, very important for you to know. That leads into, I would like Scott to talk a little bit about what is happening in the IRV vis-a-vis the external facing piece of what we do and the work he and his staff are doing, and how many grants you just received in the last 6 weeks, 2 months, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So from external program perspective, we just completed our evaluated product program in the end of December. We had 16 businesses participate in that, and in this past month, last week I think it was, we kicked off our 2026 cohort with 31 businesses, and have great engagement there. We also kicked off our largest business development boot camp. That started January, second Monday of January, I think it was, maybe 3rd. And we had 33 participants sign up for that. That was our biggest boot camp. So these are both, to us, they're indicators of us reaching different participants, number one, that need assistance, and number two, that we have value that these folks are seeing from our programs. It was interesting with our evaluated uh, food product program. We asked everybody where they had heard about us to sign up. And word of mouth, Facebook, and I forget what the third one was, but those were clearly the top three. So people are talking about participating in the program, and their friend is joining the next one, which is, I think, a great sign that we're being successful in meeting results. In terms of grants, you should remember that we have the Empowers grant. We're still waiting for the final documentation, but it was approved by the board. So that's just a matter of processing at this point. We received a renewal of our Entrepreneurship Assistance Center grant. And we received the OPPE, and I forget what that stands for. It's the Office of something. That it's a USDA grant that we help market USDA programs, and that's a 3-year grant for $750,000.
So it's about a 3 million with Empowers, and those about a 3
Yeah,
million.
we're right now. Last time I added it up, we're managing about 3.4 million portfolio of grants.
The other piece that I think is critical for you to know, and why this is so exciting, since we last met on December 3rd, it came out that the $150 million Achieve grant from the governor was going to go to 3 of the 10 REDCs. It actually went to 4, and we were one of them. The reason why I think we were one of them, first of all, it was a very good proposal. You can get it online. It was all about agriculture and agribusiness and agritourism, of which SUNY Cobleskill was the lead in all things agriculture. Of the 3 anchor projects, you had to do anchor projects. 2 were in Schoharie County. ESG, our greenhouse, and Hoshino Hotels. And Hoshino Hotel is a Japanese hotel. It's the first site in the United States that this Japanese hotel is coming into. They were choosing between us and California. And the other anchor project was the Nexus Neighborhood Project, but 2 of the 3 are in the county. It was been so well received that Bill Fideris asked us to go present to the county supervisors. There was an article in the Mountain Eagle more about it than in the Times Journal. But we are established ourselves as the agriculture expert in business and tourism in all things for the county and the region. So the fact that we got the Achieve is not by accident. And we said, the governor is interested in keeping the 2nd largest industry alive and well. And SUNY Cobleskill is playing a major role in ensuring that. So I thought you'd all like to know that. So rebranding ourselves as Agitech was a smart move. And on some levels, not a big deal to do it. And on some levels, thank God we did it. So I wanted to.
Just a question. We were clearly the leader in ag and higher education in New York State and probably beyond. There are other campuses that are involved in agricultural
Yes,
related.
correct.
How should I put this delicately?
Just say it.
Is there any jealousy or pushback
We call it healthy competition.
healthy competition?
Actually, we have a very, very strong, good relationship with Cornell. The thing with Cornell is that they really want to be the research one arm. They're not very much interested in applied research. They started to pull out of it as they've pulled out of ag education. I think though they're realizing they may have made a mistake. Because I think they also thought that, their extension programs are doing that kind of work. But they are who they are. They're the land grant and what they do. In terms of the others, I have to tell you, if you look at enrollment and our infrastructure, and that's what we're talking with SUNY right now, and we'll be going to Albany to talk to them about how to even think about farms. This is a very exciting moment for us. Finally, the system, we've said to them over and over again, you have no idea about the infrastructure of an agriculture school. So now the chancellor and others are saying, well, come talk to us. What does this look like? What do you need? And I think he's also reading the tea leaves that this is politically a good thing to do. Right, Chancellor, if you're listening? So the closest one is Morrisville, and their enrollment is about 200 to 300 students in ag. Ours is almost 900. That is why we're setting up the Agritech Center, because we want to make sure that LC, not good competition, is funneled appropriately through SUNY, because people are going to start asking for money on things they don't even know how to maintain, right? For example, there's a college that has a farm and it's losing $450,000 a year because they don't know what to do with it. There's another institution that was given a farm down in Long Island and they're going, they don't know what to do with it. And we're trying to say to the chancellor, tractors and livestock are expensive. So it's a long answer to your question. So we're trying to stop it, Eric, and we're trying to bring everybody into the fold appropriately, because people do think they all can do agriculture. And so if SUNY understands it, when people start coming forward, they're going to be able to be more informed of whether or not that research should go there or here. So yes, when it comes to competition, you betcha, we're out there. It's a great question. Anybody else want to add anything from my team?
Maybe Danelle could come with you when you talk to the governor.
Send it in,
I mean,
but
his
I'll be there.
perspective on what ag means for education and student is really well presented and well thought out, and makes an awful lot of sense.
It does, and that's why he's here. I'd like to continue because I know Darcy's going to give us an update on our academic momentum plan. The other thing SUNY does on a regular basis is we say they don't understand the rhythm of campuses, which is okay, but they keep throwing stuff at us. Every time we turn around, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's a long list, but we watch it and make sure we put it where it belongs in our, what we call ecosystem. The latest is this, what we call ACMO. She's going to give you just a snapshot of what this is about. It's about retention and what we have to do in terms of what SUNY is looking for. So it's going to be very high level. So I guess you have slides?
Yes, just a few. I mentioned this the last time that we met, but this is a SUNY initiative across all colleges within the system. So if you want to go to the next one, that'd be great. Okay. So this is what their structure is. They want us to use evidence-based strategies, really to connect with students, take things that we're already doing, amplifying existing strategies, and build on them. They will be taking some of our data to create student success dashboards, which we are already doing internally, and monitoring credit accumulation and retention benchmarks. These are the values or the key performance indicators that they are asking us to keep an eye on. So retention, which is first-time, full-time. So students who come in their first year, how many of them come back the next fall? Graduation, completion of their introductory math and English courses, getting at least 30 credits completed successfully, so meaning passing at least 30 credits in their first year, and completing their paperwork for financial aid, the FAFSA. And what they've done is they wanted to develop a SUNY retention goal and a goal for all of these things at the system. So they looked at data across all of the institutions and developed a goal for each of these points for each of us. Go to the next one. and they're calling them aspirational yet attainable. Some of them are big jumps, most of them are reasonable based on what we've done before. What we've found in looking at our data, so this is really our plan, it's actually due tomorrow. They don't want us to provide information about higher ed nationwide. It's really what we're doing here and what our students need. So in digging into our data, what we have found is that there's a cutoff of 84%. The student comes in with 84% or lower as their high school GPA, they're less likely to be successful, both in their gateway courses and overall. Almost half of our students are Pell eligible, so they may have financial need. A lot of mental health concerns. We've seen a big increase in this nationwide, but it's even higher for us than some of the national standards. And then non-academic barriers, we're seeing more and more. So these are kind of the high level, what we've really identified as the things that we need to work on.
Darcy, I'm sorry.
Sure, you're good.
If we get students applying with GPAs under 84%, how do we evaluate them for admission?
So that is higher than our admission standard. So they're still completely able to be admitted. The issue is that they may struggle more. So what we're trying to do is develop ways to help them. We already have so many things in place. We have amazing tutors. We have some staff that are here specifically to help students who have identified neurodivergence, and some that are not diagnosed necessarily. We've actually added a couple of staff that can help students who are just struggling that don't have a diagnosis where they would have specific accommodations. Maybe they need help with time management. We've changed our first year seminar, so it is focused on helping students overall to be a student. So we are doing all of these things for sort of the campus overall, because about half of our students are in that 84 or lower bucket. So whatever we do for them is going to help everybody. But we don't have the resources to really dig into giving them one-on-one, support. But we're looking at additional summer programs. We're looking at ways that we can help them. We're looking at our placement in math and English so that we're not setting them up for failure potentially. So they come in with all of our students. We don't look at them differently necessarily, but there are potentially some opportunities that we could funnel them into. We actually have a federal grant that we're working on, but right now it hasn't opened. That is focused specifically on our students and what more we could do for them if we had those resources.
Is there more funding in the governor's proposed budget for this?
Not
For ASAP
specifically.
ACE,
Yeah.
yeah, there is, but not
specific.
specific.
And ASAP ACE is really, the only requirement for that is that you are Pell eligible.
Okay.
There's not an academic component to that one.
So if I may, to help, because gets complicated, what we've done is that there's so many things going on. We have superimposed ACMO as the framework. And under it now, everything else we've been doing, we have made the connection. So like the retention task force and what it's doing, how it's informing ACMO, EOP, students, they're all now being connected so that we know who's on first and what's on second and where the resources are going, to your point, because it's getting crazy.
What is our academic threshold GPA wise?
For admission? you
For
mean?
Yeah.
admission.
For some programs, it's 80, for some it's 75.
And EOP is lower.
Yeah.
EOP is lower
Lower.
there by default, those that
By
they
default.
don't meet the admission standards, but they're close enough that they may qualify.
Okay.
And another part to your question, do we know the persistent rate of EOP from fall to spring this year yet? Do we know that number?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't have that off the top of my head either.
All right.
I think it's
Eric?
significant, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get the right number. Yeah. So,
Council members, I encourage you to jump in with questions.
How has the academic underpreparedness changed in the last
5 to 10 years.
No.
Do you have 10 hours?
Right.
So, numbers maybe haven't changed as much, right? But a couple of things. One, we actually just redid the way that we determine which math and English students go into, because what we did is we used SAT scores, grades, and Regent scores. Now we have a lot more out-of-state students. They don't have the Regents, and we're SAT optional. So we don't have that standardized value. And high schools vary tremendously. And we have found since COVID, great inflation, right?
yeah.
And these students coming in, have been in that model. So we're looking at their grades in their actual math and English courses as opposed to their overall GPA now, and what math and English they took in high school. So that's one thing that we're changing for fall. And we've just seen overall that students are less prepared, they're less motivated. In some cases, we have some that I hear the exact opposite on, right? So faculty they're so engaged and they're so, they're coming back. And then others where I hear they just don't even show up. So that attendance is a major issue as well, that they last year, especially last semester after Thanksgiving, a lot of them just stopped going to class. How do we address that and make it really, show them you've got to go? We actually did a quick analysis and showed grades versus attendance. There's definitely a correlation there, right? So we want to show that in orientation and show that when the students get here and say, you have to go, even if somebody's not going to come and drag you out of your bed and make you go, you have to go. You're going to be successful. So we're doing a lot in those spaces to try to encourage them. But we're also
indicative of the greater happening everywhere right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And the distraction with the devices and just all of it.
The EOP retention fall to spring is 82%.
That's all.
So you heard us say, right, indicators 84% below, blah, 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 blah. However, we're retaining these cohorts nicely with a lot of resources.
Yeah. And a lot of people working really hard and working with these.
Thank you, Anya.
So, I think I have one more.
I think you have 2 more.
Or 2 more. So these are the main things that we're doing. So this targeted student support to really focus on these students that we have identified as being potentially not retained or struggling. So first generation students, their parents didn't go to college. Commuter students, because they're less engaged, we've actually found that they're more likely to attrit, to not stay. Those underprepared, the 84 and lower, Pell eligible. These are the kind of the high level groupings that we have found. These are students who are less likely to stay with us and graduate. And a lot of students are in multiple groups, right? So this is what we really want to focus on and try to intervene as early as possible. We have some additional tools now. We're implementing a software that will help us to identify them and also to communicate, and a faculty member can throw up a flag and say, I'm concerned about this student, and their coach or their advisor or somebody's going to reach out to them and see what's going on. We're really going to enhance academic advising. We're really looking at optimizing course scheduling, and we're trying to get a software that's designed specifically to develop your course schedule around student success and progression through their majors. So we're really working on that piece. And then the other academic supports to all of those non-academic pieces, but the academic pieces as well, to really help them and support them as much as possible. One of the things we did through this process is SUNY put some grant proposals out, and we applied for funds for our faculty and our math and English gateway courses to be part of a learning community among SUNY. And part of that is also funding to pay some faculty to develop a writing center on campus to help support students, because that's another place that they're struggling is with writing, and where faculty are seeing a need. So that sort of thing, and they're just these small little buckets that they're giving us, but we're using those to help.
What percentage of the students are commuters?
About a third or so.
A little
So-
bit less,
A little bit
yeah.
less, yeah. we're It's significant enough.
Yeah.
To, do we do anything specifically to reach out to them,
We do,
as
we
a
have-
cohort?
Yeah, we have a commuter club.
Okay.
One of the student development staff
Okay.
is really kind of our commuter guy.
Right,
They'll do commuter, is it once a month or so? They set up down at the commuter lot where they give out coffee. and
Twice a week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I've only helped a couple times with that.
And staff has really stepped
they're
in very nicely to make sure they feel connected,
Good.
right? And the student clubs, right, Ann?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when there's care team referrals.
Yeah.
And it's a commuter, Matt Lalonde or Mike Waxman's reaching out.
Yeah.
Because usually we use the RDs, we use residence life folks to get in touch with
Right.
students. And so we have student development staff that are specific.
Yeah.
to
It's targeted, and this is a specific audience, and it's
Yep.
maybe close to a third of our population. That's, and, they also, if they're commuting, I assume they're on the landscape, so they can also influence other
Right.
people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And, they're maybe not here as much. They might not stay
Right,
here in the evenings for programming.
Right,
One thing that we found this year is that for our first year seminar courses, we had some that were cohorted. So by major
okay.
or by, so everybody in that section is an Ag Eng student or a K-9 student. And we had for our ASAPA students for that program, we had them where their instructors were the people who are running that program. So that they have those connections. We're thinking about maybe a commuter specific
Mm,
first year seminar so that we can get some of them in there so they get to know each other a little
Right.
better and know about the resources.
Yeah.
So we're those are some of the ideas to engage that particular group.
Right, thanks.
You got one more slide, I think, Darcy.
I think, yes.
Yeah.
It was just for.
Thank you. You want to show off the logo, don't you, Ryan? I wanted just to underscore something else for you all. There was an article that popped up on my feed over the weekend. Stanford students, by their own admission, say that most of them have mental health issues. 60%. So if you go look at the national data, because I always ask Ann this question, where are we on the radar, the spectrum with so many other institutions? Either 66% of students, higher education students, have a mental health issue. They said only 1/3 of students in college right now claim that they don't. What is it? 60% have at least one. And as Ann will tell you, particularly when you're dealing with students who are neurodivergent, they have more than one. 40% claim anxiety and 35% claim depression. Ann, you want to please add something?
I have an interesting statistic. So, we have contracted with a company called Better Minds, which is an online counseling. Our students generally very much like to be in person, but since April of 2024, there were 78 students who used it. And the three top concerns identified, to what you're saying, anxiety, general anxiety, 57%,
Yeah.
depression, 45%,
Okay.
and academic distress, 43%.
Okay, very close, right, Ann?
Presses.
And we watch it very carefully. We take it very seriously. Ann has done, she gave that presentation last time, and we can refresh your memories of all the programs, peer motivated, wellness, not just what we refer to tertiary counselor, you come to me, what we're doing proactively and taking it, again, very seriously. I would say the anxiety one, what was the number, Ann?
57%.
Right? We can help students get over their anxiety. That is why we've put in learning specialists, and some of the work we're doing, we're going to them. Because these could also be the students who would not hit our radar because they're doing okay. They may be 2.75 area. So, we got to be careful to make sure we take care of all of our students and not all resources just because they're presenting here. We call them the murky middle. What are we doing here? But Ann's staff is just exemplary in this role. So,
Can I add one thing? We had actually a faculty member who was teaching a course that tends to be very difficult, that stresses students out, who added mindfulness practices to the course
Oh,
as
nice.
a pilot.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's organic chemistry,
Oh,
Get
man.
out.
which still gives me.
Isn't
nightmares
that cool?
in college.
That-
Biology.
But
that is
that's
cool.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
We've got data.
Yeah,
You-
with data.
We have data on this?
Mhm.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Our
I'm
faculty,
familiar
I
with
have
that
to,
site.
we can brag about them on so many levels. Another level, I was just talking to a professional. The majority of them want to learn, want to know what to do. And you did an inclusive classroom session. How many faculty were there?
Oh, all said and
Cool.
done around 100, 115. Yeah, room, and it was in person and
Faculty and
online.
staff, yeah.
Yeah, so
That was amazing.
I am very proud of our faculty because this is not easy. Many are going, sorry, don't talk to us. So kudos, I think, around the room for that.
You know, I don't know if this is true, but I get the sense that there are colleges out there that take the attitude, once a student gets enrolled,
Yeah.
they're on their own.
You're
and,
right.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah. My grandchildren
Buck
have
up.
2 of them.
and I think what we do here is we go pretty far to do everything we can to give a student the opportunity to do well, but short of coddling.
Yep.
I forget who said it, but they still have to get out of bed and go to class. You
Well,
know,
it's part
that's
of the
their
philosophy.
responsibility.
You know, we're hands-on in terms of learning. We're also hands-on in terms of assistance. Because
That's a good way of saying
that's
it.
that's what you do.
The thing we have to be careful, which is the ethical piece, and I think we do as good of a job as possible, is to make sure that the students can succeed here, right? Because one thing that many higher education institutions have been accused of is that you're keeping students who should not be in college and incurring debt that they cannot get out of. It's a very fine line and requires the kind of oversight we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
These are great questions. Anything else, Tracy or anybody online? Questions? You guys good? Okay,
I'm good, thank you.
okay. To continue the report, I would like, Anya's going to give you an update on our enrollment for the spring and how we're trending for the fall, but what she's going to share for the fall can change, right, Anya, on a dime.
Yeah. But we've done well for spring. Our target was 87% of fall enrollment to keep it. We're actually currently at 89%, 1622 students. The census will be Monday, either this Friday or Monday. So we'll have the truly like the final numbers, but I don't think it's gonna go down a lot. So, and we picked up most of the students as new enrolled students in the spring, which is a little bit, it's rarer to get a larger cohort incoming.
It's
in
our
the spring.
largest though in a while, though, right?
It's the largest in a while. Yeah, we've been around 70s for a while, and we're in hundreds right now. So, so that really helped the enrollment, and it's going to help the revenue loss from fall, definitely. And for fall 26, the trajectory looks good right now. Again, it can change at any time, but we're up over 15% in applications and accepted students, and almost 16% up in deposits as of this time last year. So we're up in all the categories. So hopefully that trajectory was going to remain. We'll work hard to keep it there.
And Anya and her team are working on our internal number of what we hope to get to and the number we have published with SUNY. So that what we're doing, and Laura's going to explain in a minute, where we have to stay at a number that we can live within our means. And that's the SUNY number. And anything we can, and with some confidence, grow will be just more resources for us to be able to sustain and do other kinds of important work. But Laura, you want to take it from here?
So, when we project our revenue for each year, we have to start in May. So last May, we had a 1909 target number from SUNY. And of course, we all know that, week 3, we came in at 1824 for the fall, which was about a $1.2 million shortfall in tuition alone. In December, I asked the cabinet to look at all their accounts so we could pull back spending authority, because that budget that we created last May was at least $1.2 million more than what we should have had for spending authority. So I asked them to pull it back. We pulled back about $1 million in spending authority. That's not cash, it's actual spending authority, our ability to be able to spend. So since then, we've had our stability plan updated as of 2025. Our deficit was just under $700,000. It literally changes almost every week because different things happen. So once week 3 census hits for the spring, we will be able to update that stability plan again. I suspect we'll be right around a $300,000 to $400,000 deficit.
Where was it when we started?
When we started, back when the stability plan began, we were at 5.4. At the end of last fiscal year, we were at 3.1. So
And we are
we're making
now,
huge headway. We're under $700,000. We are projected to be out of deficit in fiscal year 27-28 as of 12/31. It might change. We did make up some of the shortfall from the fall this spring. I'm being cautiously optimistic, Wendy's words, of recovering about $300,000 of the shortfall from fall with this spring. Part of the savings has been a temporary savings, frictional savings of the 120-day pause. I had reported out in December that was about $400,000 frictional savings. Right now, it's more along the lines of a $600,000, but it's only temporary. It's for this fiscal year because it's based on this fiscal year's hiring practices. It's not sustainable going forward. But we're going to keep it going for a while. Any questions on any of that?
this is off of that wonderful budget workshop.
So the next piece, just to let all of you know, we as the campus are currently in the budget process. We're building our budgets for fiscal year 26, 27. And when we build that budget, we have to build that on the SUNY target of 1828. So last May I said we were building that budget on 1909. Our census was 1824. The SUNY target's 1828. So that $1 million reduction that we did in spending authority is kind of our max of when we build our budgets this year. We can't go above that. So that's where we are right now as far as beginning to build our budget. And we're making everyone do a zero-based budget this year, which means they started at zero and they look at every single one of those expenditures they anticipate, and that's how they build.
Okay, questions, comments on any of the reports? Okay, thank you.
And then Derwin will give a report.
Yeah, just a few things. First, on January 19th, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration, we hosted in the Unity Center all day long many programs and exhibits. In fact, the exhibits are still on display in the Unity Center. So if you have an opportunity, you're invited to, of course, stop by and look at some of these amazing exhibits that our students created, actually. This month is Black History Month, which is American History Month, World History Month. And we will continue to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. During this month. We've created a framework around, we call it the Dr. Martin Luther King Pillars of Promise. And so all the programming this month will be really centered around unity, world peace, social justice, civil discourse, and service. We have, of course, many partners in Ann's area that are providing support, as well as the Unity Center staff. If on our DEIB page, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging page, you will find a listing of all the events that will be occurring this month. That list is continuing to grow, and it has been successful to this point. We recently released the application for the Empire State Diversity Honors Scholarship. That scholarship is SUNY Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion provides some seed money. We have to, of course, find some matching funds. The College Foundation has been very helpful in really providing those matching funds. We have 10 scholarships available, valued at $560 a piece. Typically, from year to year, we have double the amount of applicants than we have actual scholarships. So that's underway. And the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Council, we are continuing to shape our next or our new diversity plan with hopes of course, after it's gone through the approval process, having it in place fall 2026.
Can I piggyback on you?
Sure.
Another thing we have is our BART team, our bias action response team. We
Yep.
just had a meeting yesterday, so this is fresh. And we have a form that if a student, faculty, or staff member experiences, witnesses, hears of a bias incident,
Sure.
they can fill this out. Our team meets, and I'm looking at you, Derwin, because Derwin is the support person. We're all the support people, but Derwin really takes the lead and reaches out to the student, faculty, or staff member. And then the rest of the team determines, okay, does this need to go to conduct? Do we need further investigation? So there's another whole wrapping around of people that may be not feeling like they belong or they have bias against them. And it's just a nice process.
This is an oddball question. It just struck me. You know, you see what's going on these days, and you look at the protests and the demonstrations and the response to the protests and the demonstrations, and the definition of what's an appropriate way to protest and demonstrate couldn't be wider apart in its range of interpretation. Is there research on what the most effective ways to protest and demonstrate might be? And might that be some sort of discussion group with our students and faculty?
There is research, and it's pretty much the peaceful, right? And we do have very clear guidelines for how you protest on campus that actually follows some of that good research. And that is very codified for a reason. So the students who protested Friday went through the proper channels, and we have 2 designated spots on campus for protests. And we demand certain decorum. We have to do that because, and we have to be very careful because everybody has a right to protest. So if there's a group who decides, I mean, and people watch this, so if we gave any credence to one way of protesting or another, that would come back on us. So anybody has a right. However, if they disrupt classes or students' ability to get to buildings and anything, it's all very well spelled out, they will get shut down. So yes, to your answer. And yes, I think our policy is, we changed it last fall, not the fall before this one, when all the protests were happening. And we have our council, legal counsel. Every campus has the exact same policy for a reason. Every campus has to have the exact same policy. I'm very proud of it, and it allows people to be peaceful, respectful, and if they're not, get off our campus. If that helps.
And is that widely known throughout the student body?
It should be.
What's great is when students talk about the protest, our staff gets wind of it. And what was really nice about this student, she reached out to us.
She did.
And then for her, because she wasn't sure what to do, so we were able to give her guidance. And at the end of every meeting, I always say, is this what you expected? Do you have any more questions? And she was like, you guys, it was James, James Nemick with myself. She was like, you really helped me out. Now I understand. And you gave me better things to think about.
And we even, when she reached out to me, you have a 3-day window, and I talked about that. Because she reached out to me, we considered that a notice of protest, because if we didn't, she wouldn't have been able to do it on Friday. So, we watch those guidelines, and we have to be careful because we're being, carefully monitored everywhere you turn around. So yes, there is good research, and yes, we have a very good, strict policy that protects free speech and the institution's ability to run our programs the way we see fit.
Great.
So right now, though, you're waiting for somebody to say, I would like to host a protest, but there's nothing that says, these are the guidelines. If you're interested, you're just waiting for.
We do.
At the
Yeah,
beginning
we
of
do.
every academic
Okay.
year, we share
We share.
our freedom of speech
Okay.
policies on
Great.
campus. So
Okay.
everybody on their first week, they
Understood.
know
Okay.
here's these main policies, and they're kind of broken out from the student handbook, which has tons of policies in there.
Okay.
But here's your how to use campus properly.
Okay. And that's
Free speech.
included in that.
Part
Okay.
of the orientation program also.
Do
Okay.
those guidelines extend to students protesting out in the community?
No,
They're on their own there.
on campus.
No.
And outside groups can also petition to do a protest on campus. That's why we have the designated areas. It's very clear. And if they even interact with a student, they're out.
Mhm.
So,
And actually, that's probably where we see somebody make an error, where they just show up on campus.
Yeah.
And I mean, for example, if they're handing out Bibles, and maybe they just didn't realize. So usually either Jason or a UPD officer approaches them, educates them what to do, and sends them on their way. And they go and do the right thing usually, and then come back and correct it.
So technically, though, the protests that are held on this campus are just for staff or faculty? No, anybody else could come and participate?
Yeah,
if they
public
follow
The guidelines,
guidelines.
okay.
But they can't talk to a student? So if they were.
No,
If they are interfering with a student who doesn't want to talk to them,
Right,
they're out. They cannot interfere
right.
with a student's freedom to walk
Right.
into a building
Sure.
or be harassed.
No, I'm just trying to understand. If the students are hosting a protest, it's for the students, not for the public.
Well,
Yeah, well,
So it sounded like people from outside can come and participate in the
Yes.
student protest.
they can be in the student protest.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But they
I
have to
didn't- I
be
assumed they couldn't-
respectful
Of the
of
student.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
process
right.
and the guidelines.
Yeah.
So
And
it's not, you can't be antagonistic.
Of course.
Here's by way of
Yeah.
example.
Okay.
We had a third party come in, they were registered.
Mhm.
And they ended up creating a line on either side that students had to walk through. Like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I went and engaged with them, and I found who the leader was and said, thank you so much, but this actually creates an
Mhm.
environment that students are really feeling uncomfortable in. And then they didn't expect all these people to show up. It was kind of this funny little thing. And then they dispersed, and
Okay.
so things like that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, you
Did
gotta
the
be
gu-
prepared.
Yeah. The guidelines cover media and filming and all of that stuff
Yes,
on campus.
they have to register that they're here. The beauty is that we're a state entity. So all rules of a state entity, like, so you can't solicit on campus, right? Because we're a state entity. And if media is here, Jason, if we don't know about them, which happened a little bit when we had the death of the student, Jason's on it, say, you didn't tell us you were coming. How much he can stop them. He also uses his judgment. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, in instances like that, when it's very sensitive, we know that any interference on the college's part to obstruct the media talking to a student or a faculty member, it's going to come up. That's going to be part of the story. It's going to be this institution wants to shut this down. Or, so what I do is I go and I just kind of like chaperone the media while they're on campus, and I'm kind of a another set of eyes and ears, and I can come back to cabinet, say, this is what happened, this is what we can expect, here's how we should address it. But I never want to interfere unless
Mhm.
something is going awry. So, for instance, we had a student talking to the media. The student said, "Why don't we go talk in this conference room? It's gonna be quiet." I'm like, "No, we're gonna talk out here. This is where we're gonna do the interview." So, like, very kind of like limited interaction when I see fit, but for the most part, I'm just there to like watch and report.
You know, this last discussion and several of the others today really are a little bit off the agenda, but as council members, it's very likely our neighbors may come to us and say,
Right.
"Hey, what about the protest?"
Right, exactly.
This is really important stuff for us to know the
Absolutely.
background, so.
Well, you are now you all have been put on
Yeah,
Everbridge, right?
Yeah.
So you know.
every day.
Okay, good. So you're in the know. We didn't tell you anything about the protest. I don't know if we should have or not, but it didn't go anywhere, or it was well done.
It's like -5 outside. So.
Yeah.
That didn't help matters. But you're right. But know that we have very good policies. We follow them. Anybody who wants free speech is welcome as long as they follow the guidelines as set forth. If they don't, they're not welcome.
Good.
But also, I mean, you're all handling it well enough that it's not going to become a crisis,
Right.
which is an
We
important.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proactive.
If there's changes, let's
Yes, for
research
the
about
grace
that
of
too.
God, go on,
Thanks.
do the best you
Knock on
can.
wood.
You're right. We are very, you're right. Common sense,
And
humane,
gentleness.
gentle.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the way. And I, thank God, they actually pull me out. Right? I'm never a part of that, which is,
Sometimes it's
and I
good to
feel
know that.
badly,
Yeah,
but
it is.
everybody around this table are our frontline people with this.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Questions for Derwin or? any
Great
other
conversation.
discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank
Do
you.
we have a faculty
Eric
governance?
emailed us to say that he had to get his son to the emergency room. I guess he had a soccer injury. The only thing that Darcy and I would like to add is the faculty are working very hard and furiously to get a lot of their academic policies up to speed and getting more barriers out of the way in terms of what students can interact with.
And making things just clearer.
Clear.
We have an academic integrity policy that was set up as, here's this scenario, here's this scenario. Very confusing.
Right.
So
So,
they cleaned it up and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Just a lot of like that to make it easier.
yep. And the new governance system is slowly going into place. In the fall, it'll be full blown. But two committees we are experimenting with that are working well. One is that we've combined facilities and space into one committee, and that's going very well. And we just are about to launch the new student well-being committee that will be overseen by Anya and Ann. And we needed 7 slots. 13 people applied for the 7 slots. So there is great interest and great engagement. What's going to be interesting, the UFS, which is the University Faculty Senate, which is the big senate of SUNY, did a burnout study a year or so ago, and we asked for the results, which our senator sent us. Very interesting. We talked about it a little bit. There's a follow-up I saw. But I would like for us to have that conversation when Eric is here. And I said, let's look at it. Where is their burnout? Because we were saying, as faculty are feeling the burnout, so are the senior administrators. And it's almost along the same lines. So we thought that might be an interesting conversation to bring forward. So I want to mention on behalf of Eric, I don't know if he would have said anything about it today, but I wanted to say that on his behalf.
Good. Nick, you're on.
Sure. John sends his regrets for not being here this morning. He actually has a meeting with potentially principal donor today. So we're excited about that. So just a few updates from advancement, the foundation, and alumni. annual fund. Kate is working on sending out postcards for Valentine's Day. It's really cool. It's a picture of a tiger. It says, from your greatest admirer or something like that. And if it's a couple, it has both their names. If it's some that we're not sure has a spouse or not, it just has their name. And it's going to current donors who have not yet given, as well as those who have lapsed. So she's doing a really great job putting these personal touches on these appeals that are going out to folks. I'm really seeing some increased responses, which is great. As you've all heard, annual fund is the pipeline for major gifts. You look for those patterns. Someone's giving consistently, they're giving more each year. They obviously they have an interest in the institution and supporting it, so you reach out to them. So these are important gifts and important moves. A lot of really positive donor interactions. Right now, we're at about 1.6 million. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the week, I can say we're at 1.9 million, but I'm waiting for a couple pieces of paper back to verify that. About 3.5 to 4 million in the pipeline, which is just amazing because, as you all know, we're still not that long removed from just being about a $500,000 to an $800,000 a year shop. And last year, we were at 3.325 million. So really great things at a time when it's critically important. Nico, one of our newest staff members, is doing a really great job. He has a meeting next week, potentially close $100,000 gift down in Long Island. He's got about close to $700,000 in pending appeals right now and pending asks. So really proud of him. He's doing a great job. He's one of our very own recent Kobe student and now working for us and doing a great job. And Caitlin Ogden, our newest member, who is our Associate Director of Development for Athletics, has just been doing tremendous work, standing up a athletics giving program, putting together an athletics sponsorship and corporate partnership program, because we haven't had that before, to start bringing some critical support into athletics and also putting policies in place so we know where the dollars are going. There's a procedure in place. She's there as a resource for the coaches, the staff, but also the donors who have an interest in supporting athletics. So that's my update.
I want to also, even though he's not here, for the record, John Zaharik's last day is Friday. His retirement starts Friday. So I was hoping he would be here, but I'd love to hear why he's not. He will be what we call of counsel, helping Nick with some of the bigger gifts and me with how we're going to keep moving forward. But I want to commend John because Nick did allude to it. When John came, we maybe brought in $500,000 a year, maybe. And to Nick's point, this is going to be the fourth year in a row that we are at the 3 million mark annually. Plus what else he has done for us. So I would like to give him a round of applause. We will miss him terribly, but what he has done for this college is nothing short of just terrific, miraculous. So if you see him, you won't see him, but if you want to email him, he's down in North Carolina, that guy. But please, if you feel like it, please send your regards to him.
I remember our discussion when we were recruiting specifically John, and it was really an opportunity to significantly shift the way we approach fund development. And it was a gamble.
It was.
But it's paid off well.
He was a gamble.
Yeah.
No kidding. No, yes, we purposely had to do a whole different turnaround, and it was the right choice. And we also were able to have Nick. So Nick, we know you're going to continue the good work, and we have ultimate faith in you. And Nick will bring a different perspective. And as institutions evolve, that's the thing we have to understand in higher ed. The leader at that time, you got the right leader at that time. As the institution evolves, either that leader has to evolve and or you find the next set of talents that you need at the time. That is what Nick is bringing in. We are established. Nick has brought such great energy, and he will continue this wonderful evolution. So we're very confident in you, Nick.
Nick, you mentioned the Valentine's Day mailing. Last time it was leaves, I think.
Yes.
Any feedback from that
Yeah,
mailing?
really, I don't have the exact number, but we had a very strong response. But especially, probably not a surprise from some of our alumni who live down in southern states where they don't have the change of name. So she's thinking, I just can't wait to see what she thinks of next. I don't know what she's gonna think of next, but she brings me these great ideas, and I think this one would be a hit too.
Good.
Would you like a Valentine?
I thought we were all getting it. Okay, good. Any questions for Nick? All right.
One thing, John's email, so it will be active, because he's like, President Andrew said he was,
Oh,
so
good.
you can still always
Good,
reach
Nick,
out.
thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Good call.
Okay, we'll move on to council reports, discussions, actions. The only thing I'd like to report is we have gotten notice from Anna Boleyn Cole that she will be leaving the college council. And it's public knowledge. She will be leaving Cobleskill. She'll be serving as the district superintendent of the Albany and Adirondack districts of United Methodist Church.
Wow.
Big
Yes.
shift in her day-to-day.
Big job.
She's beginning immediately shadowing the outgoing district superintendent. So she's staying on till the end of the academic year, but probably we won't see her till the May meeting and graduation. So this is, I guess we'll accept that reason for moving on. We will miss her.
Oh, yeah.
Great addition. So we got to start looking for.
Another replacement, yeah.
See what I can do. Let me know if you have anyone in mind.
We should,
Could I just have a clarification?
Yeah.
It was the Achieve grant that we received, and you can get a copy of that proposal
yes.
online. Where can I
You can
find that?
go to the REDC, the New York State, if you type in New York State REDC, all of the 10 regions will be there. Tap onto Mohawk Valley,
Okay,
and
got
you'll
it.
see the annual report and the entire Achieve proposal.
Great, okay.
We can send it.
Yeah, I just, if it was a
And-
great proposal and you put
We
words
did.
to paper,
We did.
I like,
If you're interested, we'll discuss this point. We can send you the link.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for your interest.
Other council member comments, reports, suggestions, observations,
Anything you want to
anything
hear?
online?
Anything for the future, Eric, you want to?
The future is.
You have a crystal ball? Tell me.
Anything for the
Meeting?
future, anything you'd
Future
like on the
meetings?
agendas?
Other,
Our next meeting is April 1st.
Interesting. Opportunity.
Wednesday.
I'll be good.
no. We love that you
Yeah.
push us. But seriously though, Eric, if
Yeah.
folks, let us know.
Yeah,
because
let us
we're
know
very
if
open
anything you
to-
want to
yeah.
talk about or
Okay.
questions or
Right.
whatever. We need to know, we want to know.
Yeah.
I would like to, not necessarily right now, but sometime in the next year, understand how the faculty is maintaining academic standards while the preparedness is going
He's going
down.
down, right.
Good. We can, probably after ACMO and a bunch of stuff, Darcy, we could put together a way of sharing that with them and talk to Eric too, who probably could present with you
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, no rush.
I
I'm
think
just
it's
curious.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Good.
Particularly if we get more
Yeah.
data, as the faculty, to Darcy's point, is cleaning up their academic policies. That's a great
Yeah.
request. Yes, thank you for that.
Do we need an executive session?
We do not today.
Okay. Any other business to come before the council? And a motion to adjourn, please,
Motion?
and a second. Okay, discussion, All in favor, aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Aye.
Anything online?
Bye, guys.
We're adjourned.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.